In the heart of a city forgotten by time lies a hospital that, despite officially being closed for over 30 years, still receives patients. Known as St. Gabriel's Hospital, it once stood as a symbol of medical innovation but also as the backdrop to countless tragedies. Official records state the hospital was shut down after a fire ravaged part of the building, trapping dozens of patients and staff inside. However, locals whisper that at night, lights flicker in the building and shadowy figures move across its broken windows. Diego, a journalist desperate for a big story, decided to investigate. Equipped with a recorder, a camera, and a flashlight, he ventured into the hospital on a moonless night. The building, covered in graffiti and with shattered windows, looked like a corpse of concrete. Yet, as he approached, he saw a faint light flicker in one of the upper windows. Probably just reflections, he told himself. As he crossed the threshold, the sharp scent of disinfectant hit him, strangely fresh, as if the hospital were still operational. His flashlight illuminated an endless corridor lined with outdated medical posters. His footsteps echoed loudly, but every so often he swore he heard a second pair, slightly out of sync with his own. Reaching the reception desk, Diego noticed an old telephone resting on the counter. To his disbelief, it rang. Startled but curious, he picked it up. A distant, muffled voice asked, "Room number, please." Confused, Diego tried to respond, but the line went dead. Moments later, the hallway lights flickered, guiding him toward the east wing. Against his better judgment, he followed. Each room he passed was empty, yet the numbers on the doors seemed to shift when he glanced away. Eventually, he reached room 303. The door was slightly ajar, and inside, the faint glow of an operating room lamp illuminated a gurney covered in blood-stained sheets. As Diego approached, a chilling whisper froze him in place. "You're our next patient." The door slammed shut behind him and his flashlight died. Darkness engulfed the room as the air filled with the stench of burning flesh. Echoing around him were screams, frantic orders, and cries for help. The gurney began to move on its own, sliding toward him as shadowy figures in outdated medical uniforms emerged from the walls. Diego tried to run, but his legs felt pinned down, as though invisible hands were gripping him. The ghostly figures encircled him, their faces devoid of eyes, just dark, gaping voids that seemed to consume the dim light. One of them held out a rusted syringe, murmuring, "This will only hurt for a moment, or forever." By dawn, Diego's camera was found abandoned outside the hospital. The footage revealed empty hallways and a blurry figure being wheeled on a gurney. Diego was never seen again, but locals claim that on the darkest nights, his voice can still be heard echoing through the hospital's halls, pleading for help that will never come.